What do we need to know about junior varsity Vance over the next 6 months? Let's look into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First off, a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Thank you for liking, watching, commenting on the videos, sharing the videos, watching them all the way to the end. That's what really makes this channel grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we'll look at Vance over the next 6 months. I also want to look at Elon Musk's health. I want to look at the DOJ voting monitors for Tuesday's election just to see what's going on there. So let's look at those three topics. Let's start with the DOJ voting monitors. So the DOJ is going to send uh, monitors to places in California and Virginia, probably New Jersey too. Um, this really isn't unusual, except for this DOJ is unusual. So let's just see to know. Okay, so I think everything's going to be okay here. Yeah, we get the card for the voters, the Four of Wands. Um, yeah, and the Six of Swords heading out of troubled water. I think they may have had some ideas of doing something untoward, but none of these elections, I really don't think so. We'll see on Tuesday, but I don't think any of them are going to be particularly close. So I don't think anything they do would matter. Get the Three of Cups, the circles of support. Of course, if polling places have Republicans, Democrats uh, overseeing them. So, most of these people are going to get along because, not everybody can be an election judge. Hopefully they weed out the weird ones. Usually, I don't know, every time I volunteered, I've ended up doing it. So I guess maybe they just really need people. But we get the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving of information. This is the voting. Yeah, we did get the Seven of Swords, deceit, trust. This isn't the typical sending monitors there. It's just not. Do I think something bad is going to happen? No, but um, it's an intimidation tactic. You can be guaranteed it is. Now, generally, the DOJ sends voting monitors into minority districts to ensure that minority access to the polls, right? Here it's like the other way around. But I don't think it's going to work because the electorate in the midterms is so different. Um, and it won't work in 2028 either. The chariot card, people are just going to go vote. They probably don't even, um, you wouldn't know whether their monitors are there or not, right? There's supposed to be guardrails, but there's some darkness here at the magician card, and they'll have to defend it if anything bad happens. So the voters are there. There's some deceit here for sure, but whatever they try to get away with, they're going to have to defend, and that doesn't bode well for them. Uh, there's guardrails in place that's going to prevent the deceit from working anyhow. And that's the circles of support. This is the election judges. It's like, yeah, they're partisan, but they're in equal numbered in each polling place, generally. That's what it's supposed to work anyhow. And I just don't think it's gonna work. And elections are state um elections, so They can always call the police on the DOJ voter monitors if they need to, and the police would respond. So I don't think anything bad's going to happen. I think, people are going to come in, they're going to vote, they're going to leave. This election will move the country forward, which is good. Yeah, there's some dark energy, but the chariot's here because we're going to move forward. So I think it'll be a very big election for Democrats on Tuesday. Yeah, we have justice underneath. So I think everything's going to be okay there. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And I feel pretty good about. We might hear of things that they tried to get away with that get stopped right away, um, which doesn't make it right. It just that's what it feels like. Okay, let's look at Elon's health. Um, so when I was scrying the other day, he came into the images, and again, I was hearing the skipping heartbeat, like the boom, 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 boom. Like there's something weird there. Um, Now usually these are treated pretty quickly, you know. It's not an uncommon thing to have an arrhythmia of sorts. But I think this can accelerate with drug use, which I do think is going on. We need to know about Musk. How's he doing? I think well. Um, I don't think he really likes his life. I know that might sound kind of strange, but there's plenty of examples of people that have a lot of wealth and fame and status and don't really like their lives, that suffer with lots of depression. And I'm not saying he does. And of course, it's just a tarot reading. It could be right, it could be wrong. It's just for entertainment. Um, I don't think he particularly likes himself either. I think that's why he's so mean to his children, or some of his children. Yeah, there's something weird here. Getting the cups in the water, which is about loss. I don't think that means he's going anywhere. We get the Empress card. His mother, that's it. I wonder how her health is. Um, we get the Seven of Pentacles, reaping what you sow. Do you get the Death card here? I'm not surprised. I don't think that's for him, and I don't think it might not even be a literal death. Um, it could just be the end of a cycle, of course. I'm wondering about his mother. We get the Nine of Pentacles. He has everything that he needs. That doesn't mean he has everything he wants. We do get the Six of Swords. So maybe he's coming out of something. Maybe he's heading towards something. Hmm. Some illusion and delusion. This also could be substance abuse. I'm sorry, that's the Three of Cups. Although that's the Seven of Cups. It's crazy. That's circles of support. This is the illusion, delusion, or drug abuse. Actually makes sense. The Knight of Swords here, things moving fast, being on a precipice, and self-sabotage. It's almost like his mother has led him to this life of self-sabotage, and she encourages it. She's quite sick in her thinking, that's for sure. It's definitely drug use And I do think that's ultimately probably how he ends up going. I don't think it's soon, but I do think he dies rather young. I don't think he makes it to 70. I don't necessarily know that he even makes it to mid 60s. I think he dies rather young. You reap what you sow, and he's not been sowing good things. He does have, you know, everything that he needs. But he pushes the limit. He just does. There's never enough for him. And that's like not a really good karmic energy. And these circles of support, they feel rather toxic. I'm curious what's underneath here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the devil card underneath. So it feels like, well, Seven of Swords, close enough. Yeah, it's like it's just a life of deceit and deception. Very similar to that's like the minor arcana devil card, right? Um, yeah, he's been wounded in battle and he can't the Five of Swords, and he can't figure out how to get his life back into balance with the Justice card. So I don't think Mr. Musk is doing very well. Uh, like on a day-to-day mental health thing. I think he has a lot of untreated stuff going on there. Doesn't feel very good, that's for sure. I don't like his energy. I think I once described it as like taking a frozen fork and sticking it in the back of your head, like deep into your brain, and like the ice, like imagine the ice cold metal in your brain. It's kind of what his energy feels like. It's very jarring. I can't imagine he's easy to be around. Okay, let's look at junior varsity Vance for the next 6 months. So we'll be posting this on November 1st, recording it on the early morning of November 1st. You show us about junior varsity Vance. So this is the before tarot. These three are just Rider Waite tarots of different varieties. This is the classic. These are kind of aged and gilded to look cool. And this is the after tarot, which is based on the Rider Waite. It's like the moments before and the moments after. That's why I have them set up like this. We're going to use the 5 decks. We'll do one card for each month. He shows about junior from November, December, January, February, March, and April. This like has a particularly bad March for some reason. There's February and March are eclipse seasons, if I remember correctly. There's some choices in November. The Two Swords, families, reunions, and celebrations, but running in from the cold, right? Running in from the rain. I always found this imagery somewhat perplexing. It's like because there's a storm behind there, and they're running in, and then there's the rainbow in the Rider Waite tarot. So that's like the moment after this, because this is the before. So the storm, I guess, is what leads to the rainbow, but this doesn't have like a very calming feeling that the Ten of Cups normally has. Now we get the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that don't serve us, but also, you know, perhaps doing some toxic behaviors as well. We get the Page of Pentacles, some sort of message in February. And it's like, yeah, and March, this is the month that feels weird. It's like something gets let out, right? The Nine of Wands, which is guardrails, but here the line's about to escape, or the bear. And yeah, I'm curious to see how these cards are going to play out. Something feels weird about March. And then April, we get the Emperor, which is the card for the presidency and abuse of power. Underneath, we have the High Priestess. Things going on behind the scenes here. I think he's doing a lot of work. I don't think he's calling the shots, by the way. I don't think anybody is calling the shots except for the felon. I know a lot of people are staying different. I don't think that's right. I think there are people there to stop the felon from doing certain things. But for the most part, they're letting him do what he wants. That doesn't mean that congressional Republicans are going to follow. Okay. Show us Vance over the next 6 months. These are by Craft Cards. That's the company that makes them. They just age them and gild them and make them look kind of cool. Kind of fun. I like them. Something weird in March for sure. That we get. We get Victory in November. This isn't about the elections because he hasn't really been participating in them. This could be a number of things. I'm gonna go a few more cards before we get partnerships. It makes sense. December. Bombshells and surprises in January. Moving forward in February. What are we moving towards though? There's a lot on his plate in March. Almost too much to juggle. And then we get the Hanged Man in April. Underneath, we have Temperance, which I've said this before. That's the card after death in the Tarot. I think that is significant. The Nine of Pentacles flew out, having everything that he needs. A lot of fighting though, and lots of spiritual issues around his marriage. I've done that before. I don't think she believes. I don't know what he believes. I don't think anybody knows what he believes. I think, the truth is he is definitely living a lie, just in the way that he acts and, even changing his name and stuff like that. It's very weird. Let's advance over the next 6 months, please. It choices the Lover's card in November. The Six of Cups, lots of cups in December. Mental health in January. Legacies, inheritance in February. Starting over in March, the Fool card. And then Victory in April. The Emperor underneath, again, part for the presidency, but also abuse of power. It's interesting. All right. Let's keep going. Something's weird here. Something's feels different over here too, but it's like he gets away with something in March, but like the public doesn't really let him off the hook, but uh he feels like he gets away with it something along those lines. Let's see if we can't figure that out. Just Vance over the next 6 months, please. I think he definitely becomes president during this time period. It feels that way. You get the Queen of Cups, empathy or lack of it. The Queen of Swords, logic, consistency. You get that Ten of Cups again. See the rainbow, right? And here was the storm. That's what I was talking about. And the Four of um, Pentacles, stability. Yes, something in March, fiery messages, something comes out about him. Yeah, it makes him toxic to a lot of people. Underneath the Empress. Just advance over the next 6 months. And we'll verify with the Toth deck if we need to. It's like the sensation of, the words on the tip of your tongue, but you can't think of it. It's kind of that feeling around whatever's going to happen. Okay. I don't think it's going to surprise the people that watch this channel, but I think it's going to surprise others. I don't think it's good. Hit the Six of Cups again. And no, October, November. The Nine of Pentacles in December. The Page of Swords, Spy in the Camp in January. A lot of volatility in February. There's an eclipse in February. There's also an eclipse in March. They span February and March. The card for the Democrats. And if one plan doesn't work, try another. The Eight of Pentacles. The Page of Wands underneath. Let's do through one more deck. Let's do the Toth. Um, Here we get the Ace of Cups, a surprising type of new beginning here. I'm sorry, not October, November. December, we get the Knight of Swords. A very quick movement. We get Lust in January. This is the same as the Lover's card. The Princess of Cups, the some sort of emotional. So, and then the Queen of Cups. A lot of Cups energy here. And then the Hermit. Underneath is the Fool. So it definitely feels like his life changes quite a bit. So in November, it feels like, he's forced into making some sort of decision. He's gonna think he makes the right one, but we'll see. This choice later on is comes back to haunt him because like it lacks empathy uh, for people and their children. He said some horrible things already, and this surprises him because people view him differently. Like I think he's losing support every day. That's why I think he's trying to become more MAGA, but MAGA isn't taking him back because they don't want him. Families reunion celebration, and then some sort of new partnership in December. Uh, the thinking about the next generation. He's acting in this consistent way. He has everything that he needs, but life's moving really fast in December. It feels like there's a lot going on there. January, it kind of feels like he's self-soothing. He's letting some stuff go, maybe not in a healthy way. Uh, I think we're going to be surprised by some of the things he does. I think, there's probably revelations around the felon's health. Now, whether the felon's here or not is a different story. I feel like he's not, but um, see again, families, reunion celebrations, and then, the spy in the camp, and then lost. Like it's almost like something around his, maybe I don't necessarily know that he's been, you know, unfaithful to his wife, but I think he's probably had some, relationships with uh, people of the same sex. Feels that way anyhow. I could be wrong. Uh, yeah, messages coming out. It feels like he thinks they can cover them up, but then, this tarnishes things. And then it feels like he thinks he's got it under control, but then no, there's more volatility. And then there's more messages coming. It's like it's just a never end drip drip of bad news for him. And he can't keep it behind the guardrails here. And he's juggling a whole bunch of stuff, the Two of Pentacles. And then, it's like a relief though when all this stuff comes out about how awful he is. It's almost like a relief. And it'll be shocking. And the Democrats will take full advantage of it. And um, he'll almost garner like sympathy, but not because we like care about him. It's like we realize he's pathetic. Like he's just lived this pathetic life, I guess, maybe. It's the way it feels. There's something weird about March. April, definitely president abusing his power. Everybody's waiting to see how he's gonna do. He feels, victorious. Everybody else thinks he's toxic. He does take a different approach to the felon, I think, and then that isolates him even more with the hermit card. So yeah, interesting cards. Interesting 6 months. Something definitely big and weird in March and probably in December as well. We shall see. All right, thank you for watching. I'll be back with another video soon.